Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. Let me check the sound before. Yeah, the sound is good. We are here with the first playthrough of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Caller. I did not plan that intro at all. It just restarted because the song was playing for a while. But yes, this is a different layout. Obviously, I'm using the Nintendo DS emulator, so it has the upper screen and the lower screen. But yeah, this is it. We are going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Caller. I'm excited to share this game with you guys. This is going to be an introduction to Duel Academy episode as well as a tutorial. For those of you that do not want to see the tutorial, because I will be going through the cards that I have in my deck during that. If you don't want to see that, then you can skip when that tutorial starts. I'm doing the tutorial to just help everybody else that watches these videos of mine that they want to learn, and I want to help them out because, you know, it was requested. So if you guys don't want to watch the tutorial, it's totally fine, no worries. You can stop the video there and you can continue with the next episode when it gets updated. So, no, when it gets recorded basically, or uploaded. So right now, let's go straight into the episode and be introduced to Duel Academy. Here we go. The text looks a little weird, but I'm gonna be reading it for you guys. That's the only thing that looks a little weird in the game. But the important thing is, when we're dueling and when we're looking at card description, the text does look good. It only looks a little weird when I'm talking to people. But I will be reading it, so hopefully it's not too annoying. I looked at what it would look like, and it's not that bad considering what we're gonna be doing most of the time in this game. So hopefully you guys are okay with it. Everything else plays fine, so hopefully you guys don't mind the text looking a little bit off, but I will be reading it. So here we go. Thank you for sailing with us today. The boat will reach Duel Academy in approximately 1 hour. Ah, it's you! Long time no see! You also made the Academy. To tell you the truth, I was a little worried. The entrance exams were pretty tricky. Flashback. Duel Academy entrance exams near the exam hall. Hey! Yeah, you! Quick question. You're trying out for the Duel Academy, right? Huh? How do I know? Well, you've got the face of a duelist. Anyway, do you know where the exam hall is? I kinda got lost. Do you know? We're taking the exams at Kaiba Corp? Where is that? Huh? Behind me? Oh! Over there! Right, that sure does look like Kaiba Corp. Probably because it is. Oops, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Jaden Yuki. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Our name is Ninja because ninja things. Oh, right. Yeah, so everything else in the game, every text in the game itself is fine. It's just the text when you talk to people. That's the only one that looks a little strange. But everything else looks fine. So let us type our name out, and right now we're gonna pick our face. Sadly, it's a male duelist, unfortunately. I already know my face. I mean, my hair color is my hair is gonna be this hair, because ninja. No one's supposed to see my face, right? This is the ultimate ninja look. But I'll go through the other options just so you guys can see. I don't even know why this is an option. Just so you guys can see the other types of hair that we can use. Some of these are actually hairstyles from characters in the game, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we're going with this one. We are a ninja, and I'll go with this one. This little grin. I'm a badass character. Ninja, yeah, you don't even know my face. I can see you, you can't see me. That's a sweet name, perfect for a duelist. Uh-oh, the entrance exams are about to start. Let's go, Ninja! So yes, we have to get to the entrance exam so that we can qualify to enter the Duel Academy. You can't just get in. Aw, you guys might have a problem. I think all the duels have finished. I overheard the professor in charge talking to the exam officials. They might not let anyone else take the exam. It'll be fine. You worry too much. We weren't late or anything, so it's not like they won't let us take the test. Dr. Crowler. Actually, What did you say? 2 slackers just arrived to my exam? Inexcusable. No tests for them. But wait, I have a good idea. I'll duel those 2, personally. Which of you slackers is first? Me! Looks like this will be a sweet duel. And we basically, just like in the anime series, we beat him. Not only were you late to the exams, but you had to face off against faculty. What was his name again? Crumper? Well, whatever. But you beat him! Wow, I wish I was that good. We will soon arrive at Duel Academy. Please take all personal items with you. Alright, more introduction. I see the island! There we go, this is us. Our navigation is right down here. You can see my mouse because I am going to be pointing at a couple of things in the game. So it's best I just reveal the mouse, because this will be how we're going to navigate, or we can just use the cursor as well too. But over here we have a dual disk shortcut. Always check our deck. This is the shortcut to our dormitory, and this is our PDA where we can check out who we registered as duelists and where some duelists are. So yeah, I wonder what life is like at Duel Academy. We're gonna find out. Phew, we're finally here. By the way, there's something I wanted to ask you. Do you remember who I am? No, you never told us your name. I knew it. I was at the entrance exams. I'm Cyrus Truesdale. I heard that the Chancellor will be giving a speech on campus. Let's go together. Alrighty, Chancellor Shepard is gonna give a speech to welcome us new students. I'm excited. Hey, Ninja! I knew you'd make it. It's going to be great living at the Academy. I knew you'd make it, Jaden. Of course, I'm gonna be the next king of games. That's what he always says. I remember that, yeah. You're pretty confident. I wish I was too. Hey guys, it looks like the Chancellor is about to start his speech. Welcome to Duel Academy. I'm Chancellor Shepard, the headmaster of this school, and you are the best and brightest young duelists in the world. You overcame many obstacles to make it this far, so you can consider yourselves the duel elite. I want you to have fun dueling and studying. I think I've bored you enough, so I'll let the headmasters in each dorm fill in the rest of the details. I expect great things from you, and I know you'll fulfill them. Until then, bye! There we go. Yawn. Speeches make me sleepy. Look at his face. Sheesh. So where's the dorm we're going to? Red dormitory. That's right. We're going to the red dorm. The color of your uniform tells you which dorm you belong to. Really? I didn't know that. So that means we're all in red dorm. Well then, let's go to our dorm. Yep, I'll be getting into that very soon. I'll be explaining the dorms and what each of them mean and why, what category they are. But I think they will also explain it. So this is red dorm? I don't think it even approaches... Oh wait, I don't think even roaches want to live here. It's not so bad. It's, what's the word? Quaint. The building's kinda old, but check out the sweet view. It's perfect. I guess I'll get used to it. Maybe. It looks like me and Jade are in the same room. You're in the room next to us, Ninja. Right, let's dump our bags and go explore the island. We'll meet up in our room. Okay. Ninja, after you settle in, meet us in our room. See you later. Alright, this is a perfect opportunity to start the tutorial, so that way we can get that going. So right now we're gonna check our email because we have 3. Duelist radar. Basically, I'll be able to explain this, no worries. Deep duel points info. Every time you duel somebody and you win, you gain duel points and experience and you level up. And this is a congratulations email. Congratulations, you have been accepted to Duel Academy after passing the entrance exams. All Academy correspondence will be sent via email, so check back often. Enjoy dueling at Duel Academy. Alright, so that's taken care of. We have our battle record and friend search, where we register people that we've dueled, and at some point in the game we will be able to know where each of them are, so that way it's not going to be a mystery all the time, because as you walk around, the duelist radar is going to tell you based on it beeps and it starts becoming red, and when it's red, that means you're getting closer to finding a duelist. And then it's a random thing for a good while of the game. So yeah, each time you duel somebody, you will register them. Over here you have the bed, you save the game, sleep, go to the next day. Closet, depending on what we do, what we accomplish, we can change our uniform to whatever we accomplished, as well as our duel disc. I wish I could change my hair color, but it kind of looks okay. So right now we have 500 duel points. We don't have a spirit. We're gonna get one in the game. School level is very important because certain events we can only trigger by being a certain level. So you level up by dueling people, which is not a problem because right now we're gonna be going through the deck. This is the title that we can choose to put. Underneath we have amateur, Slifer Red Student, Yu-Gi-Oh Game Expert, OCG Expert. For now we're going with Slifer Red Student because my deck is far too shitty to be considered Yu-Gi-Oh Game Expert. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. And now we're gonna dive into the deck construction. The options are very simple. We have forbidden limited list. Like every Yu-Gi-Oh game, there are cards that are forbidden in certain weeks. Yeah, Blackluster, Envoy of the Beginning. This is Merrick's card from Chaos Emperor Dragon. All these details should be normal looking in the recording. These are all forbidden cards. Cyber Jar, Fiber Jar, Magical Scientist, Sinister Serpent, Tribe Infecting Virus, Tsukuyomi, Witch of the Black Forest. I'm surprised. But yeah, there are a lot of forbidden cards here. Change of Heart, Dark Hole. It's more realistic to Harpy's Feather Duster. Look at this. Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Raigeki, Snatch Steal. All of these cards are forbidden. Imperial Order, Exodia. A lot of forbidden cards. Jinzo. So yeah, this is a more limiting type of tournament, but sometimes they are available. So let me just look at peek. Heavy Storm, Blissful Charity, Mage Power, Mystical Space Typhoon, Premature Burial, Source of Healing Light, United We Stand. A lot of cards that are forbidden. The ones that are limited, these are the forbidden cards. 31 limited, so you can only have one of each in your deck, and semi-limited, or I guess based on, I don't know, it's strange, but yeah, we don't have to worry about that. Recipe Viewer is basically our decks. Each deck that we save is a recipe and we can view them and so on. Deck construction. Now we're gonna look at our deck. Usually we start, I can change the view of the deck, by the way. I can make it look like this, or I can make it look like right, I'm gonna have to click on this. There we go. This is a different view that lets you see every card instead of me scrolling down constantly, right? I just scroll to the side. These are all the monster cards, spell cards, trap cards that you have. 40 cards in the deck. All of these monsters are weak. Some of them have 1500 attack points. Not bad. We have Giant Rat as usual, a good card. Man-Eater Bug, not bad. As you know, you see the effect right there. It destroys one monster on the field when it gets flipped. We have two 1400 monsters here. Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, 1500 attack points. Feral Imp, 1300 attack points. The attack points are over here on this side. Defense points are over here on this side. The type of the monster is over here, Fiend, or you can look at the symbol as well. And this is the attribute right here, Dark. You can look at the symbol. If I view this card, you will basically, but yeah, we're gonna just focus on the type here for now. There are many things in this game. First, you have the monster cards. Monster cards are monsters that are very important in the game because that's what you use to beat your opponent. You start with 8,000 life points. You have normal monsters that have the light yellow color, like this one. They're all yellow. All the yellow cards are normal monster cards, which means they don't have a special effect. Effect monster cards start here. They look orange. These are effect monsters. There are also monsters that are called fusion monsters that are colored purple. And those monsters, with the help of a spell card called Polymerization, you can fuse monsters together to form a fusion monster that you have, and you can summon that on the field. That's called fusion summon. There's also a color monster that is blue, which is called ritual monster, ritual summon. And ritual monsters, you can get them on the field by using a spell card that is specifically designed to help you summon that card on the field. Depending on the level of the ritual monster, that's how many cards in total you have to sacrifice in order to reach the total levels to summon that monster. It's gonna be easier when I explain everything else of the game. But yeah, these are just the types of monsters that there are in the game, in this one specifically. So effect monsters, you have to read. Like over here, the type of the monster is a warrior, warrior effect. Some effect monsters trigger depending on what's written on the card. Some monsters effect trigger when you summon them immediately on the field in face-up attack position, and some of them trigger depending on what you do. If you attack a monster, for example DD Warrior, its effect is when this card battles a monster, after damage calculation, remove from play that monster and this card. It's a nice card to have. If your opponent has a strong monster on the field, you attack it with this card. Sadly, you know, you lose life points equal to the difference between that high monster's attack points and DD Warrior's 1200 attack points. You're gonna lose life points. But you remove from play both cards, you get rid of it, and you're pretty much safe, right? So there are also flip effects like Man-Eater Bug. These monsters, you have to put them in face down defense mode. Attack mode is when you just put the cards like this, face up on the field, like that. If you put them in defense, which I will show you guys when we go into dueling, defense mode is you flip the card horizontally, face down. That's basically what it is. And summoning is just you face up vertically, set the card on the playing field. So that's how you do it. And monsters that have a flip effect, for it to work, it needs to be on the field face down, so that the next turn, when an opponent attacks it, it's a flip effect. So it flips, destroys the card, and its effect activates, which lets me destroy one monster on the field. Giant Rat, it's a beast effect. This monster, when it gets destroyed as a result of battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one earth monster with an attack of 1800 or less in face-up attack position from your deck. Then you can shuffle your deck. So basically this monster is a good effect because if your opponent has more than 2 cards on the field and attacks your Giant Rat, you can use its effect by getting another Giant Rat on the field to that way keep your field from not being empty for a direct attack. If the opponent's monster has, let's say, 1900 attack points, Giant Rat has 1400 attack points, you only lose 500 and you gain an extra monster on the field because of this effect. So it's pretty good to have. And over here, another example of effect monster, Muka Muka. It's a rock type monster, earth, low effect, low attack points, but it's okay. Its effect is basically, as long as this card remains face up on the field, its attack and defense points increase by 300 points for every card I have in my hand. Imagine I have 5 cards in my hand. I summon Muka Muka on the field. That's a good amount of attack points increase. That's like, you know, 5 times 300. 1500 attack points increase. So it's gonna have an attack points of 2100. Bam! Strong card if you have a lot of cards in your hand. So this is just an example of how effect monsters work. If there's an effect monster, each of them, their effect happens in a certain way. It all depends on what is in the description. What the effect of that card is, it gets activated properly when you do what you need to do with it. So that's effect monsters. Before we go to the spell and trap cards, I'm going to also explain levels. As I mentioned earlier, I talked about levels, right? And I'm also going to explain about attribute earth. This is the attribute right here. Attribute earth is black. Dark is an example of a dark card. Purple. What else do I have? I have mostly dark cards. Jellyfish, water, blue. Fire is red. Let's see, what else do I got? Nothing else in here. Light is basically white, and you also have the attribute for forest, or wind, rather, wind, which is green. I think it's wind or forest, I don't know, it's green either way. And there are each field, you can have a field spell card that basically gives monsters that have the same attribute, it gives them advantages to attack points. Some field spell cards increase attribute. Some field spell cards focus on type. Some focus on warrior. You know, the types that there are. There's warrior, fiend, machine, bug, rock, aqua, electric. There's a lot of types in dual monsters. So you pay attention to those field spell cards, what they increase, so that you can base your deck around that. I personally like using dark decks. I like fiend cards. Most fiend monsters are dark attributes, so I like dark mostly. This deck, I have a lot of fiend cards in this deck. A lot of fiend cards, beast, aqua, warrior, spellcasters, and so on. So that's a little example. Something else, levels. Levels are important to pay attention to. Each monster has a level. As you can see here, this is the star, the circle, right? This is the level. It has 3 of these round circles with a star in it. An example, this is what it looks like. And there's level 1 through, I would say 10, I think, 10, 11. But in the game, the main thing of the game is any monster that has a level 1 to 4, you can just normal summon or normal set on the field. Like, you don't have to sacrifice anything. If you're talking about level 5, a good example, Mega Zowler. Mega Zowler is a level 6 monster. Level 5 and level 6 monsters, you cannot just play, you know, on the field. You cannot put them on the field like that. You have to tribute summon monsters according to how high the level of this Mega Zowler is. For example, level 5 and 6 monsters, you need to tribute summon 1 monster on your side of the field. So for example, I have Feral Imp on my field, a level 4 monster. I draw Mega Zowler. I have to offer this card as a tribute, get rid of it, send it to the graveyard, so I can then special summon or special set in defense mode because it has 2000 defense. Depending on the situation you're faced with, you can special summon it in attack mode, which it has 1800 attack points, or you special set defense 2000 points. You have a big ass wall defending your life points. So if you have a monster level 7 or 8 like Ryuran, the strongest monster in my deck, it has 22 attack points, 2200 attack points, 2600 defense points. Ryuran has, I think, 7. Yeah, he has 7 stars. He's a level 7 fire type dragon. Level 7 and 8 monsters require 2 monsters as a tribute to be summoned, special summoned, or special set on the field. Whenever you make use of special summon or special set, because of different requirements, that's a different move you're doing. You're not normal summoning, it's special summon. You have to offer a card as a tribute to get this card on the field. So there are other cards that are strong, that are higher than 8 stars. Any card higher than 8 stars, you have to tribute summon 3 cards. but we're not going to get to those cards yet anytime soon. But just to give you guys an example, the highest you can offer are 3 cards as a tribute to get a 9 or level 10 monster on the field. There are other higher level monsters, but each of them have a different requirement based on their effect to be able to summon. So now that we're done with the basics of what are normal monsters, what are effect monsters, what is normal summoning or normal set, what is special summoning or special set, it's all going to become clear, that part, when we actually do our first duel. I will be explaining that as we go along. So this is, you know, the tutorial. Just the quick basics on what you need to know about monsters, dual monster cards, okay? So now we're going to move on to spell cards. There are a variety of different types of spell cards. Spell cards are cards that you can just activate, just like you can normal summon a card, you can just activate a card. Also, in dual monsters, per turn, you are not allowed to normal summon or special summon more than 1 card, 1 monster on the field. Each turn, you get 1 monster extra to summon. You cannot summon 2 monsters on the field. You cannot do that. That's also something important that you need to know. Spell cards, there's no limitation to how many spell cards you can activate a turn. You activate based on what you want to activate and based on what the spell does. There are normal spell cards like D-Spell that you can just activate like that. D-Spell is a good card to have because it allows you to take a peek at a face down trap card that your opponent has. Sometimes you can set down a trap card. Sometimes you can also set down a spell card. So D-Spell lets you peek at that face down card. Most of the time it's supposed to be a trap card. If it's a trap card, you looked at it, you know what you can see. But if it ends up being a spell card, it destroys it. D-Spell mostly is used to destroy continuous spell cards on the field. Continuous spell cards are spell cards that remain on the field ever since you activated it, and it will not be destroyed until for some reason you destroyed it with D-Spell, or for some reason you chose to destroy it yourself based on an option that the spell card offers you. So it's a lot of things you need to take into consideration. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about reading the card's effects so you learn how to properly make use of them. So you have normal spell cards that you just activate whenever. You also have equip spell cards, which are cards that lets you equip to monsters, and like this one, Stim Pack. A monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 700 points, but a side effect, its attack is then decreased by 200 points each standby phase. Standby phase is basically at the moment that it's your turn, you're deciding what you want to do, right? Standby phase. And then your main phase is when you summon cards, you play cards on the field, basically. You also have battle phase where you choose to attack. Then you have main phase number 2 in case you want to activate more cards after you finish attacking. Then you finally have end phase. These are the steps that I will go through with you guys when we actually start a duel. For now, it's just a basic to let you guys know. Here is a field spell card, which is also a type. Yami increases the attack and defense of all Fiend and Spellcaster type monsters by 200 points. It also decreases the attack and defense of all Fairy type monsters by 200 points. This is a field spell card specifically focused on the type of monster. Spellcaster and Fiend get 200 attack points boost, but if it's a Fairy type, it gets decreased by 200 points. So if my opponent has Fairy monsters, they lose 200 attack points, while my Fiend monsters gain 200 attack points. So this is a perfect example of a field spell card that focuses on Fiend types. There is also a field spell card that I will later on unlock that is called Mystic Plasma Zone, that is focused on Dark. Every Dark attribute monster will get 500 attack points boost. So there's that. There's many types. And there's also quick play spell card, where basically at a quick decision, a quick moment, as a reflex, as a chain reaction to something that your opponent did or activated, you activate that spell card. For example, let's say I get attacked. My monster, for example, my Kanan, the Sword's Mistress, right? I have this card on the field. For some reason, I may have a quick spell card in my hand or face down on the field. It's up to you, it's optional. It's called Rush Recklessly. This is an actual quick play spell card that increases your monster's attack points by 700 points for just that moment. That's what quick play spell card does. It's just for that moment, whatever happened, its effect is for that moment. So imagine my monster, it has 1400 attack points, is being attacked by a monster that has a higher attack points, let's say 1600. I quick activate Rush Recklessly, boost its attack points to 2100, bam, that monster is destroyed. I win that turn for that battle phase. So just an example of what a quick play spell card and when it's going to be activated. You can choose to activate it whenever you want. You can also choose to activate it based on the situation that it allows you to activate it. So that's basically examples of what types of spell cards there are. And obviously there's also ritual spell cards that are specifically designed to help you ritual summon a monster based on, as I mentioned, based on the level it has. For example, Magician of Black Chaos. It's a ritual monster that has 2800 attack points. It's a level 8. Level 8 means that when you activate the ritual spell card, Dark Magic Ritual, before you ritual summon Magician of Black Chaos on the field, you have to offer levels equal to the level of that monster, 8. So if I have the Illusionary Gentleman in my hand, and if I have Gazelle, another level 4 monster, on the field, I tribute both of them, and I can ritual summon Magician of Black Chaos. For example, this was the beginning of the turn. If I still have a monster in my hand, like Horned Imp, I can choose to normal summon that because it's not a normal summon. It's a... Actually, I don't know, I need to check that. Fusion summon and ritual summons don't apply to your summon limit, but special summon and normal summon does apply, that you have the one monster limitation. So if you ritual summon or fusion summon a monster, guess what? You still can summon Horned Imp after you do that. So that's the funny part. But yeah. So that hopefully that wasn't confusing. Let me know if the explanation was okay. I'm trying here. But yeah, so now we're moving on to trap cards, and then we're done with the deck construction, and I will just tell you guys what each of my spell cards and trap cards do, so that you know what cards I have in my deck currently, and that way when I make the plays, you know exactly what's going on. So trap cards, there's also many types. There's quick play trap card, there's counter trap card like this one. Magic Jammer is a counter trap card. By discarding one card from my hand, I negate the activation of a spell card and destroy it. Counter trap card type. Okay, so for example, Stim Pack, the equip spell card. If I activate this and the enemy has Magic Jammer face down on the field, he activates it, discards a card from his hand, negates the activation of Stim Pack. I lost there. There's also normal trap cards, so you can activate whenever you want based on the situation. Again, this is also counter trap card. I activate this only when your opponent's monster declares an attack. Negate the attack of that one monster and end the battle phase. Here's the thing though, this explanation is not correct because negate attack negates the attack of all the monsters that my opponent wants to attack me with. So this explanation is not good. It's not just one monster. It negates the attack of every monster my opponent tries to attack me with that turn that I activated this. So that's actually wrong. You have the normal trap card, reinforcements that you can use to counter an opponent's monster trying to destroy your monster. It increases one monster's attack by 500 points during the turn this card is activated, but it's just for that moment. Unless it's a continuous spell card, trap card, it's gonna be gone. If you activate it, the effect happens. At the end of the turn, it goes away. But yeah, then you have continuous trap cards, where the trap card's effect is gonna remain in play until the trap card gets destroyed somehow. It stays on the field, which is why it's called continuous trap card. So now I finished covering the basics of duel monsters. I'm gonna continue covering the final bits when I actually duel, because then you'll see what I'm talking about with the normal summoning, special summoning, how that all works. Again, tutorial side of the video, in case some of my viewers are interested in also learning how to play duel monsters, and they can properly enjoy me playing Yu-Gi-Oh, because they will understand more what I'm doing, So this is why I'm also doing this. So now we took that out of the way, we're gonna look at the other cards that I have. But first, apparently I have a sneezing fit, excuse me. So we're gonna go through the other cards that I have, and I'm gonna let you guys know the main strategies that I always have in duel monsters and what I look for when I'm trying to make my deck better the more I duel. Excuse me. German Faction. We're gonna see what this card is. It's an equipped spell card. The attack of a non-machine type monster equipped with this card is decreased by 300 points at the end of each of its standby phases. This means that I can use this card to decrease the attack of my enemy's monster by 300 points. So its attack continues to be decreased each standby phase by 300 points until its attack becomes 0. So I have 2 copies of this apparently. I have Goblin's Secret Remedy, which increases my life points by 600 points. So if I activate this, I get 600 life points. You start with 8,000 each. Your priority is to do whatever you can based on the type of deck you have to make sure your opponent's life points reach 0 before yours. Yours must be protected at all costs. Of course, I have a weak-ass deck right now, so that's going to be a painful thing, but we'll see how we can do this. And soon, we're going to get a much better deck. This is a good card over here. I like it. Graceful Dice. Don't read this. I'll just simply explain what this quick play spell card does. I can willingly activate this whenever I want, if I have a monster card on the field, or if my monster gets attacked. If my Illusionary Gentleman gets attacked, I activate Graceful Dice. I roll a dice, and based on the amount of number I rolled on the dice, you multiply it by 100, and that's the amount of points your monster is going to receive until the turn is over. So if I roll 5, my Illusionary Gentleman, his attack points will be increased by 500 points when I activate Graceful Dice, making it 2,000 attack points. So of course the monster attacking me is gonna lose. Over here we have 2 copies of Hinotama, which if you activate it, it inflicts 500 points of damage to your opponent's life points. So this is just a card to do some damage to your opponent's life points basically. I have 2 copies of Remove Trap. This is the opposite of D-Spell. It works on trap cards. But the downside is I cannot peek at a face down trap card like D-Spell does. D-Spell lets me pick up the card, look at it. If it's a spell card, destroy it. If not, put it back. Remove Trap works only if there is a face up trap card on the field. I can destroy it. Having 2 copies of this, I kind of don't like it. So as soon as I get the chance, I'll get rid of this. This, Silent Fiend. If I activate the spell card, I can special summon 1 normal monster. Normal monster is yellow. From my graveyard. Graveyard is where every card goes after it gets destroyed, or by some reason you already used it. That's where it goes. Every card you used or every card that gets destroyed goes to the graveyard. And I special summon a normal monster from the graveyard in face up defense position. So it's going to be put face up horizontally on the field. While that monster is on the field, it cannot attack. So basically this is just a filler card while this monster is on the field, the one that I brought back, it cannot attack. So it's just filler. It's just there to help me sustain my field, I guess. I have 2 stim packs, which is pretty good, and I have Yami. Okay, House of Adhesive Tape. If the defense of a monster summoned by your opponent, excluding special summon, so special summon does not count, only a monster summoned by your opponent. If its defense is 500 points or less, destroy the monster. So for example, let's say that my opponent summoned, let's see, yeah, okay, let's say if my opponent summoned Muka Muka and did not have any cards in their hand, right? Because Muka Muka gets a boost to attack to defense based on cards that it has in hand, that I have in my hand. So if they just summon Muka Muka on the field, no cards in hand, its attack is going to stay 600, its defense is going to stay 300. I activate House of Adhesive Tape. Because the defense is lower than 500, I destroy that monster. Basically what that does. I already explained what Negate Attack does, what Magic Jammer does, reinforcements, I already explained that. 2-pronged attack, final card. Select and destroy 2 of your opponent's, select and destroy 2 of your monsters and 1 of your opponent's monsters. So, and if I want to destroy a monster that my opponent has, if it's super dangerous, I have to have 2 monsters on my field to destroy them and then destroy that opponent's monster. So as you can see, this deck is weak. It's not the best starting deck. Of course, every starting deck is weak. It has some cards in it that I definitely do not want to have in my deck. I will remove these 2 out. I'll take this card out. But yeah, for now, my strategy is every new card I get, I will focus on getting monsters that are higher than 1400 attack points. That's the first focus. The weak monsters are considered monsters that are lower than 1500 attack points. To me, how many monsters in my deck right now do I have lower than 1400? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one doesn't count because it has 2000 defense. I only use this card for the defense. More. This one you use it for the effect, so it stays in the deck. This one too, and this one too. So yeah, I have a lot of monsters that have attack points lower than 1400. So every new card that I get that's 1400 and higher, I will replace each and every one of them until I get a better deck. And then when that's done, I will focus on monsters that are higher than 1500 attack points. The main focus of this game is to have monsters that are higher than 1700 attack points at least, that are level 4, that you can just normal summon. So yes, that is it for this tutorial. We went through the monsters that I have in my deck. We looked at the cards that I have. So in the next episode, we are going to actually start dueling, and we're going to continue the little tour that we have going on, where we're familiarizing ourselves with Duel Academy. But yes, this episode was mainly focused on the introduction of the game and also a tutorial, so that everybody that wants to continue watching me play Yu-Gi-Oh games, they can at least learn the basics with this tutorial. And every duel, you know, I just explain what I'm doing as usual, and yeah, they will understand it much better and they will also enjoy it much more. So hopefully this tutorial has been helpful, and hopefully everybody else, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The next episode, we are gonna start dueling as soon as we finish the tour of Duel Academy. So yes, let's do this. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to get into the series, and hopefully you guys are excited about it too, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So I will see you guys next time.